Have you ever seen these things in the grocery store?
I have, and I'm not gonna lie, I think it looks like an old witch's bunion. It looks like it can cure pimples, and I need it because, hello, wait, which side is it? Oh, you can't, that thing's a crater right now.
You could barely see that.
It looks like if you cut that thing in half and rub it on there, it would cure it.
Ew.
Don't you think? It looks like it's from, like, the dinosaur era.
It does. It looks super weird. It feels super weird. It's got a really, really weird texture on it. It smells, I like the smell of them. It smells kind of, it's like got an earthy smell to it, like a mushroomy smell to it.
That's not selling it.
Yeah, I'm not selling it so high, but if you've ever seen these in the grocery store and you're wondering what to do with it, first of all, it's called Celeriac.
Okay, because I've seen it and I'm like, is it Celeriac? Is it Celeriac? Is it Celerious? Like, what is it?
Or is it celery root? Because
no, isn't it? It is. I think it also could be referred to as celery.
It is
root.
called technically It's got a lot of different names. They're all right. There's
is Celerious right?
I don't think
that's
so.
right.
I don't think that's right. But this is what it looks like. It's gnarly on the outside. It's got a lot of different holes on the bottom. A lot of craters that are filled with dirt because it is a root. It grows underground.
So you just grab it and crunch right in?
No.
All right, because that doesn't look like something you'd be wanting to crunch right into.
No, definitely not. So you're going to want to pick the smaller ones because contrary to popular belief, I think people would just go for the bigger ones because they're like, bigger is better.
Yeah.
But
is it?
It's not. The smaller ones are way more tender and they're not as fibrous. So same thing if you were picking out like a carrot. The bigger, you don't want a big carrot.
It's kind of like turnip then, probably.
Yes.
Because you know, like a rutabaga, that's like a big honking one, and then the little turnips are like tiny.
Rutabaga and turnips are two different things.
Okay, but why do some people call rutabagas turnips?
They're wrong, those people, because that's not the same thing at all. But it's the same concept.
I call it turnip.
It's the same. Well, you're wrong.
Okay, well.
But it is the same
scratch
concept.
what I just said.
The bigger the vegetable, the more fibrous and tough and old and sometimes bitter it's going to be. So celeriac is no different. Go for the smaller ones. Some people say that you can soak it
in did I pick right? Because I'm the one that picked these out for you.
You got me a honker. It was a little too... One of them was too big. You'll notice one is smaller and one is bigger. The bigger one, a little too big.
I don't know how to pick them. I just saw them. Key's been talking about them for ages.
I'm obsessed with them.
She couldn't find them one week, so I was like, you know what? I'll spot her some celeriac.
Yeah. So
is it celery? Am I getting it?
I call it celeriac.
Okay, let's go with celeriac, even though I do like celerious.
No. So some people say that you can soak it in a bowl of warm water with baking soda and try to leach out some of that dirt that's around there. I find that too difficult. You can't get in amongst all the gnarls. I don't want to be consuming dirt of any kind, so I will just go ahead and peel mine.
Give it the old peel.
I will peel the exterior.
And if you peel it, then it's going to look a lot better.
Yes, but one thing about peeling it is the minute you peel it, it starts to brown. So if you're not going to use it right away, it's like...
So it's not like a tater.
No. It's more like an apple in that sense. Like if you cut an apple and you put some lemon juice on the outside, it prevents it from going brown.
Is it? You said it's also called celery root, which I have seen it called celery root. Mm-hmm. Is it not the root of the celery stalks that we all know?
No.
It's not.
It's not. So and the only reason why I know this is because
I assumed it was like stalk, bulb, witch's toe thing that we're talking about.
So did I.
Or witch's bunion. Ew, that sounds gross.
No, I thought it was the same thing too, but last year I grew celery in the garden thinking it was like a 2-in-1. That I was going to grow the celery and then have the root underneath. It's not. Those are two different things. They've been genetically modified to provide two.
Weird.
Like, if you want to focus on having a good root, the top isn't going to grow that well. So if you grow celeriac, you'll still get some tops, but the energy is being focused on growing that big
what
root.
Does the top look like of a celeriac?
It does look like celery. It still does, but it's like tiny, measly little celery.
Cool.
Wimpy celery. It's not that great.
Leave it to you, buddy.
Yeah.
You know everything about veg.
Well,
she does.
And I do love celery. I'm obsessed with lately. I'm in a celeriac maniac.
Good one, buddy.
I don't know why. It's just so earthy.
What a nerdy title. But you're loud and proud about it. Just own it.
I gotta get a shirt made.
Yeah.
Celeriac maniac. But because once you have it, there's something addictive about it.
Okay, but why? What's it taste like?
So you can eat it
raw, cooked. What are we talking here?
Raw or cooked. It's versatile.
Okay, so is it like one of the veg, like raw is better than cooked?
No.
I've had it both ways. Raw health-wise is better than cooked.
No. I've had it both ways, and I prefer it cooked. So one of my favorite ways to make it is to slice it really super thin on a mandolin. There's not many occasions where I will break out a mandolin because it's a pain. I can't stand the extra washing and whatever.
They're terrifying.
You gotta make sure your hands
can slice off the little thingy.
But I always use a mandolin on a celeriac because you want it super, peel it up really good. First, I wash it before I even peel it, because just to get some of that off. Then peel it, then slice it really thin, and I just layer it into a casserole dish, like overlapping like you would scalloped potatoes. Salt, pepper, little garlic powder. Here's a secret, some truffle oil. In between the layers, just layer it up in an oven at like 400 degrees for like an hour.
I'm there. That sounds... Wait, okay, so no liquid, no
none.
Cream,
no cheese, no nothing. Because as it cooks, it gets like, it softens down and it caramelizes. The sugars in the root caramelize. So you got that like crunchiness around the outside and it's soft on the inside.
So not even like any stock in there. So just straight up bare celeriac.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, straight up celeriac in the pan. It is phenomenal.
I would not have thought that.
Yeah, it's so good.
Who would look at that thing and think that's going to be phenomenal?
Not many people, and I think that's
I've walked past it many a time.
Okay, so you know how a long time ago, like...
Wait, if you're making it raw, can you like dip it in some dip?
Yes,
veg dip?
You can have it just like you would...
So what is it like raw? Potato-like? Apple-like? What are we talking here?
It's got like a...
Juicy?
Starchy sort of like...
jicama?
Similar to jicama, if you've ever
Because
had
I thought
jicama.
that was jicama.
Yeah, no.
For years, I thought celeriac was jicama.
No. So it is like, it's similar, but it just, raw, it has more of a celery flavor.
Ooh.
It does. And cooked, it has a slight celery flavor as well. But like I said, I prefer it
I'm very
cooked.
intrigued by this.
Yep, I am obsessed with it. So what I was going to say is, you know how a long time ago, beef stewing chunks were like cheap? And then people caught on.
Those days are over.
And then people caught on and they were like, because they were cheap because a lot of people didn't know what to do with them.
Remember when flank steak was cheap?
Same thing. So then
that used to be like, people would be like, flank steak. And now that's like one of the most sought after cuts.
Yes. So then people caught on and they started to learn how to use these off cuts that were inexpensive. I am going to predict that celeriac is going to be the same thing. Right now, it's super cheap.
So you're saying everyone's going to be a celeriac maniac?
Yes, because I think people are like...
Get the shirts made up. Let's make some money.
Because like people go to the potatoes and they're like, I'd rather go sweet potato, whatever, for a starch. They don't look at it.
So is this in the starch family?
It is a starch.
So celery dips and dabbles in the starch family and the healthy family.
And it's a tuber. It's a root that grows under the ground, so it is going to have like a starch-like quality, like a parsnip.
Could you mash it?
Yes, you could absolutely. It's so good mashed as well. Even if you want to do like a half celeriac potato combo.
Ooh.
It has a slight celery flavor to it, but to me, it's just like overwhelmingly earthy. That's why it pairs so well with truffle.
I feel like that would make a good soup.
Yes, you could do it in a soup.
It would be like, does it take like the same amount of time as like a potato? All right, yep. I'm getting it. I'm getting some witch's bunion. I'm going to look at that in the eye.
Stop calling it that.
Bring it home, peel it up, and get it because Kiki said so.
You guys are going to want to get it too. Once you try it, you'll be like, now I have another option instead of just potatoes and sweet potatoes and squash.
And cauliflower.
Yes.
Oh my, who would have ever thought cauliflower would take the spotlight as like the veg?
I know.
Move over, cauliflower. It's time for celeriac to hit the scene.
It's the best.